Greetings and welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the town of New Camaraderie in Rimworld. Now, to start... Oh, we've got a manhunter pack, really? That's different. Now, to start off this episode, I just want to cover something that I have mentioned on Twitter already. Unfortunately, due to an issue with my recording software, not recording my commentary and only recording the game audio, I did a recording batch. I got up to episode 19 before I realised that this was the issue, and as a result, I think the best thing that I could possibly do, because I save at the end of each recording batch, is simply to scrap all of the work I did that day and go back to the last save I had, which was episode 14. So we're here now, and we have a pack of man-hunting rhinoceros. Fantastic, actually. Now, the nice thing that it seems to... Oh, there's still a poison ship. Oh, I did so much. Now, the nice thing about Rimworld is it does seem to have... it does seem to reinitialize the random seed. So, as a result, not everything is going to be exactly the same as it was for me. I mean, it's still probably going to be a little bit weird. In fact, in some ways it's going to be worse, because I'm not necessarily going to know what I've done and what I haven't done. It's going to be one of those kind of awkward situations, I feel. Now, if everyone could get inside before the man-hunting rhinoceros get here, that would be grand. Rilda, that is so the worst possible place for you to be. I think, yeah, the rhinoceros just killed someone. Rilda, can you go over here? Oh, for a second there, my heart, my hopes, my dreams came alive as I thought, perhaps I hadn't already made that bloody awful plasteel longsword in episode 14. But no, I had. Right, well, Emily, I would like you there. Dance a lot, I would like you around here. And LMC, down there. Now, let me just recall. Ah, yes, okay, so there are quite a few... Baldric the Husky and, what was it, Felix, perhaps? The Husky were currently set to be... oh, there we go. One very badly hurt. They were currently set to follow Dance-A-Lot into battle, which is not exactly what I want. Now, the problem here... Ooh. You're from... Where are you from? Oh, drat, this is not good. Rodalbo. How are we with... Oh dear, this is potentially going to go very badly. They're in our killing pit, and our cannons are all about to start shooting. Please, don't hit them. Okay, we still not angered them. It's going well. Oh no, I think we just did... Oh, okay, good. Well done. Very well done. You actually slew those people very quickly. I am pleased. Now... You can step out, start taking shots. Nice. Emily, you too. Both of you. Oh no, you need to stop. That's right. Shoot them a couple of times. Okay, you can step back. Now, are they angry with us? No? Still 19. Oh, that's fantastic. Let's just double check. Okay, it doesn't appear that we've hurt anyone in that firefight. Either that, or they no longer care the way I thought they did. Either way, please slay anyone. Oh, actually, let's, who are you? Ah! Oh, phew. They're leaving. Taking a wounded guest. Perhaps I should have helped out a little bit more there. Unfortunately, one of the guests died down here. Okay, well, that's not so bad, all things considered. I could have gone a lot worse. Right, let's turn that off. We need all of these rearmed, but because it wasn't like a pirate raid and no one died in them, they just need to be rearmed. So that's actually really, really good. Now, I need to remember there were a couple of things that I desperately need to make sure of. Right, okay. Oh, no, is that already done? Okay, we've already done this then. We've already restricted our... animals from eating our plants. Actually, I can already kind of see that because there's a few conspicuously underdeveloped plants there. We've still got a lot of stuff in here. I do apologize for this, but if I don't do this now, I'm going to be making very silly mistakes later on. LMC, I don't really think there's a particular reason for you to be sleeping this late. So, how about we move you over here instead? And, in fact, I think with LMC, I did a little bit of something. Now, you sleep for 3 plus 4, 7 hours of sleep is more than enough. However, because of your particular nature, that is, you're not like all of the normal people, and you don't like eating people, I'm going to give you a bit of joy in between, then a lot of free time, so that basically you can top up your joy. In fact, no, I'm gonna cause you to work a little bit harder for that extra joy. There we go. Now, I think everyone else here should be okay. Yeah, so LMC is the only person who's just bizarre. We don't quite understand what it's all about. Honestly, it's very, very curious. However, let's pop you back there. We will have you two there. You can go to sleep there, that's fine. But we want 3 and 4 and take 4 off the end. Now, how many we've got there? We've got 7, 7, 7, and more than 7, so we'll take that back down by 1. You've got 8 hours of sleep. What? No. No one gets 8 hours of sleep, my lord. Your brains will rot. My goodness, you lazy bums. But okay, that's all set up now. So LMC, being the only person who kind of doesn't like eating people, will possibly be cheered up just a tad. In fact, no one is particularly happy, I've got to be honest. So, well, you got tons of joy. I've been enjoying myself so much, I love it. I'm kind of happy about that. Your joy is fine. Joy 91%, but rest, food, mood. Well, actually, maybe you don't need more joy then. Let's have a look at the others. Not as much for Rilda. Emily. I mean, given the hour, what hour is it? It is... Oh, I can't really compare now. I should have had a look at that earlier, I suppose. Okay, we're going to leave it like that, though. Now, I really, really, really do need to sort this out a little bit. Again, doctoring should be something that pretty much anyone with any skill should do. But generally speaking, unless you have some skill in it, I don't know. We'll leave it as the last possible priority, and we'll just see how that goes. Now, LMC, you're doing construction, mining as a priority, and research. Yeah, it's kind of an odd connection, but okay. Rilda, you're doing construction, and smithing as a priority. Crafting. You're not doing cooking as priority. Okay. But you are by far one of the best cooks that we have. Alright. I'm going to drop that down to a 3. So, everyone kind of... You're by far the better constructor, though. Like, wow, you're so much better at it than anyone else. It's a bit of a tricky one, really. Because Rilda, I would prefer to do constructing after cooking. Smithing first. Right now, you're by far one of the best just general craft people we have. So I'd like you to do tailoring, smithing, and crafting. These will be your primary jobs. You're pretty bloody good at doing any construction as well. But I want you to do those first. As far as research, I mean, you can do it, but I want that on a tertiary. You will also do hauling before you'll start doing any of your tertiary jobs. Whereas LMC will do doctoring first. You will then do any sort of construction. I want research to be a secondary for you. So it'll be done after cleaning. And then art can be a tertiary. Now that said, you are one of the best artists we've got. So maybe I'll leave that there. Everything else, fairly good, I think, on the whole. Emily, you're a pretty good doctor, all things told. You and LMC, I actually want you to do that as a priority. Wardening. Got a 3, you've got a 5. What's your primary job going to be? Your primary job should be growing plants, I guess. No. Your primary job is going to be doctoring, then mining, whereas LMC is mining, then construction. Also hunting, but actually I'd like to put hunting on a second job for everyone, really. In fact, I might even make that a tertiary job. Except for someone who's particularly good at it. It's a bit of a tricky one. I guess as long as I don't give too many people jobs to do in terms of mining, hunting, then it should be okay. Handling, again, if no one else is available to do it, I kind of want someone to do it. But as for wardening, I'm going to turn that off for anyone who doesn't have the skills to really be doing it. So there we are. So your primary job is mining. How good are you at art? You're actually one of the best people in the colony at it. So Emily, first you'll do mining, then if there's any artistic work to do, you'll do that. Then your secondary job will be growing. This is a bit of an interesting one. I'm trying to have in my mind that everyone has a primary job, then a secondary job, then a bunch of things they can do after it. But I'm not doing a particularly good spread of this. I've got a lot. I'm certainly tightening up the primaries, but I've got a lot of room to improve the secondaries. You know what? That is your secondary job. Rilda, your primary job is this. Then it's cooking. But damn it, you're one of the best constructors that I've got. There's not always going to be things to construct, though. That's the one nice thing about this, is there's not always going to be things to construct. So I guess we can make a small exception for that. And you may as well make exceptions. You may as well be flexible with this sort of stuff. Now, you are by far one of the better wardens, so that's actually going to be one of your primary jobs. And then handling animals and cooking. Cooking is your primary. So we're going to very heavily front load this. So cooking is the first. Wardening. Now, wardening is secondary for you. Handling, also secondary. Hunting. Make that a tertiary for you. LMC, what was your secondary? You were going to be... the problem with research is you're behind cleaning. Guess I could set all of this to tertiary for now. You'll do art before tertiary. Sorry, before research. I don't really want that. But I do want you to do mining before it. That's fine. If there's something to mine, I do want that to be done fairly quickly. And also we'll put that on a 3. Put everyone on a 3 for that. Cooking will be done by Rilda before he'll do any kind of construction work. That's fine. But up here, wardening is a fairly important job. But I do want you to be doing cooking more or less before anything else. Plant cutting. Yeah, you can do that. But Emily does have that as a secondary because that's, you know, kind of her main job there. That can be you can do it, but it's after everything else. Same with research, because you'll actually get better at it over time. Now, finally, dance a lot. Dance a lot, you're going to have a primary on growing and plant cutting. You are the main person for doing that. That handling will be on a secondary. As for all of these, I'll allow you to do the crafting and smithing and stuff and just generally get a little bit better. Now, the thing is, I do want a primary researcher. That's a lot. You're going to be doing research for us. Eventually, we'll run out of things to research, and then that'll be good. So this is going to be the new setup of our colonists, generally trying to improve what people work on. I'm actually going to tell the people who aren't told to construct just not to. I don't want you building things unless I've told you you're allowed, because I want those skills to get very, very good. Art, yeah, you can do it because you'll get better at it faster than others. And that may improve things. We'll see. Take a bit of time, certainly. There we go, that's all shut down. Very nice. Let's get everything hauled in. Oh, there we go. Straight away. My goodness. That made a bit of a difference. In up to episode 19, we'd only just finished this. My goodness, reworking that was worth doing. Okay, well, given that then, let's have a look. I would actually very much like to do Vansidium. Now, Vansidium, while combining, leads to advanced bionics. I want to know what advanced bionics gives us. Advanced bionics workbench. So there is another one after it. Okay. Okay, a workbench equipped for production of prosthetics and bionics. That's going to be a fair ways down then. So, for the time being, I'd actually like to get either explosive IEDs, so I can plant a couple of traps, for example, here, or just at the entrance of this area, where enemies are going to funnel through, and likewise maybe up here somewhere, where they're going to have to come through. Yeah, I think it'll be worth it, because every now and then we will pick up artillery shells, so it makes sense. The only problem with this system, and it is actually kind of a big problem, is that we've got people not hauling and not cleaning. And I actually really want those jobs done. They're super, super important to me. I could just make all of them secondary, but that is going to mess with other things. But I suppose the only thing it'll actually mess with is research if I make them all secondary. Well, actually, they'll also mess with the tertiaries, but yeah, I'll mix and match them so that people will generally be getting that work done, but only after they've done their primary and their secondary job, for the most part. So that should actually work out. There we go. Well done, Emily. Let's continue with getting this place built up, though. We need granite blocks. So we want 2 batteries. Then this coming along there. And down. That should be good. You want to smooth the floors. And we want metal tiles in these points. There we go. That'll be nice and easy. Thank you very much, LMC. This place looks lovely. Now, who has primary on growing? Oh, yeah, should be fine. Do kind of need all of this done, though. Hopefully. Now, I'm going to give them a little bit of time just to see how they can work through all of this by themselves. I want to make sure that they can do all of this work. Now, you know what I'm thinking? Let's have less of a stockpile of these. No, we won't take it down that far. I just don't want to waste our time making these. And also our very limited cargo capacity. Alpaca wool. That'll actually be useful. We need to deal with this. We actually need to deal with that fairly quickly. Okay, what's going on there? Growth rate... 82%, why is that? 88. The very edge, I guess. Okay, well that's fine. There we go, again, everything nice and smoothed in there. We'll set up a dedicated battery supply for the medical area. We'll have probably 8 beds in total, I imagine. Oh, mad animal. Alright, you need to be slain. Someone could do that for me. So Overlord, maybe? No, Overlord's going and doing other things. Also, I would love it. Oh well. Overlord, you're now fighting. Overlord? Please don't be a coward, Overlord. That's right. That's better. I want all of this cleared up as well so that we can move through this area a little bit faster. There we go. I do very much want to get the hospital set up, though. I feel that's going to be a big, very big help for us. Right, Overlords, well done. LMC's already... Ooh, we've got a new person. That's awesome. A villager named Ken has arrived and is joining the colony. He is a deep space miner. Hello, Ken. Let's have a look at you then, shall we? Outfits. I want you to be a worker, probably. Let's have a quick gander. You're incapable of being scary. Alright then. You're an optimist, you're a night owl, and you're... Oh, wow. You were literally designed for this place. You're pretty good at mining, too. And you love animals. Ah, you were a frightened child. Ken grew up with a laundry list of phobias and neuroses. He feared, among other things, doctors and foodborne pathogens. As a result, he learned to cook and care for himself. But many of his fears dog him in adulthood. Firefighting is disabled. Deep space miner. Ken did the sweaty, grimy work of pulling metal out of asteroids on a deep space rig. He used his hands on industrial skill daily and wasn't bad in a bar fight either. Right. Fair enough. Very well. What about health? Wow. Ken, you're amazing. And you shall be Bartok. Welcome to the colony, Bartok. You've got a wooden shiv. We'll get you something better. In fact, maybe we should have a second melee person. But actually, you know what? No, we don't want a second person who's going to get in close quarters when we can have someone with a sniper rifle. But you're just not very good at shooting is the problem. Grab that. That is your weapon for now. We need to set you up as working. You cannot do that. You're not actually that bad at doctoring, but you're not particularly good either. I'll make it a tertiary job for you, but patient and flicking, they are primaries. You're very good at handling animals, but I don't particularly want that to ever be a primary job. Wouldn't mind having you as a primary miner, though, because you're just better than anyone else. So that means, Emily, you've currently got a fairly high... You're our primary artistic person. I could make you a grower again. So we'd have someone dedicated to growing. Another person dedicated to it, rather. Yeah, sure. That's fine. You'll get fairly good at it fairly quickly, I imagine. Are you good at anything else? You can do this. You've got skill in it, at the very least. But generally speaking, you're only going to be doing mining as a primary. Then the other things you're going to do, you're going to help out with construction. And in that case, I will make that a secondary for you. In fact, yeah, I'm actually pretty happy with that. Really happy. Right, restrictions. You like to sleep at night, so you're going to be keeping pace with Rildar. There we go. Now, you're actually... I think you're an optimist, aren't you? Man, that's going to be useful. You are an optimist. Feeling good. For no apparent reason. I just feel good right now. Night owl at night. Ah, this is glorious. Absolutely glorious. Okay, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. But I will give you longer work hours and a little bit of joy replenishment in the middle there. In fact, I'll move your joy down a little bit. In fact, I'll move your joy down as well. There we go. That actually looks out pretty nice there. That works out very nicely. So you'll get plenty of time to just chat with people and bring up their mood because you're such a kind of like, you know, life-loving guy. Well done, Bartok. You are the colonist that this colony needed right now. But before you kill yourself, let's just make sure you're on no trap. Because that would suck. Right, well, on that note, we're going to be wrapping up the episode there. I hope you've enjoyed and will be joining me for the next. But until next time, do take care.